very hot. This is not a jacuzzi. So do not get any ideas, all right? No jumping in for a bath. What you are viewing here is basically the remnants of the last activity. And this took place over 200 years, 1766. From what was documented, the eruption was not violent because lava never came out. There was only steam and rock fragments. So since then, the volcano has been quiet and this area has been boiling and steaming away. Now the type of volcano we have here is a caldera type, a collapsed volcano. You have no mountains to climb. Now calderas, they are usually formed after a big explosion and there is like a big cavity left. There isn't anything to sustain it, so it collapses into itself. The Yellowstone Park in the United States, that's a big caldera, okay? From the time you entered into the town of Soufrière, you have entered into the caldera. So it's not only here, it's bigger. 12 kilometers squared, 3 to 4 kilometers in diameter, 7.5 miles. So it's a big crater. It was formed within 32 to 39,000 years ago. Now in geological years, that is quite recent. We have a very young volcano. Scientists, they have predicted that the volcano could erupt within 100 years. They are saying that in the Caribbean, a volcano is supposed to erupt every 200 years. So if that is true, then we are already overdue.
Okay.
Yeah, but do not worry. Not today, not on Christmas Day. Most times before a volcano erupts, there are usually signs leading up. Okay, and some of those signs would be increasing temperature, lots of tremors all of a sudden, birds and animals moving away. You know, if all the trees are dying, if your tour guide is running.
Okay.
You know, these are all signs of an eruption.
Last time.
Exactly. So there are signs and it's constantly monitored. There are sensors all over the place. The main seismic station is in Trinidad. And every 6 months, geologists, they come here. So it's monitored constantly. There will be no eruptions, hopefully not today, okay? Now, upon arrival, you are greeted by an unpleasant smell. It is that of the sulfur. Actually, it's the gas releasing. It is one of 3 gases releasing here. There is carbon dioxide, which is the most abundant gas here. There is also sulfur dioxide, and there is the hydrogen sulfide, which is the most pungent. Okay, and this one is, well, what we are smelling right now is the hydrogen sulfide. It's at a low concentration, so it smells like rotten eggs. At a high concentration, it's odorless and deadly. It becomes heavier than air. So it takes away the oxygen, it paralyzes the respiratory system, suffocating you, killing you instantly. If there is no smell, this also tells you that there is lava making its way up to the surface. And this eruption is usually quite explosive with gas and ash. It's called a pyroclastic flow. The flow is about 150 miles per hour, like an avalanche. That you cannot outrun. And that is what happened in Pompeii, Italy, 2,000 years ago when Vesuvius erupted. It is currently happening in the Caribbean on the island of Montserrat. It has been going on for 12, 13 years now, and 3/4 of that island is devastated. Montserrat is about 250 miles from here.
We have been.
Oh, you have seen it?
Oh.
Oh, you passed. And you saw. About 3 weeks ago, there was another explosion there. So it's
there was
alive.
a dark grey
Cloud.
Yeah.
Pyroclastic. Yeah. There are still persons living in the northern part of it. It's considered to be the safest part. But scientists, they are considering to evacuate everybody of the island altogether. Now, the water's temperature in there approximately 100 Celsius, about 212. So it's hot. The steam at the back is even hotter, escaping at a temperature of 171 Celsius, over 340 Fahrenheit. So very hot. Persons could have walked all in there before. As a matter of fact, the tours were conducted in there. So you could have boiled eggs and cooked potatoes. But over the years, before the rain, the surface became very porous. Also, several accidents took place in there. The most severe was 24 years ago with a guide. His name is Gabriel. He was storing 7 persons, and while storing them, Gabriel was jumping on the surface, demonstrating how unstable. He jumped, the surface went in up to his waist, and he got burnt severely from the steam. Gabriel did survive. He is alive and well. He lives in the town of Soufrière. He can walk, he's not paralyzed. As a result, he created a hole. The first big hole, this cone-shaped hole. This is the Gabriel's hole. It was the size of his waist. It has enlarged. This happened 12th of April 1985. So we do not allow persons to go in there. It is too dangerous. The colors you are noticing, they all represent minerals. So all the white is calcium, and all the brown is iron, all the light greenish yellow is sulfur. No diamond, no gold. The island is very young. I've been digging, there's nothing in there. It's also a combination of the minerals, that is why the water is black. So it's not dirty water, but very medicinal, good for eczema, psoriasis, mosquito bites, sunburn. There are hotels on the island. They actually bring their clients at the bottom there to have mud packs. It has been tested. It's the same as the baths in England, the Glenwood Springs in Colorado, even the Dead Sea, the Baden-Baden in Germany. They all have the same medicinal properties, so it's good water. The lava here is at 2 kilometers deep, about 1.5 miles in the magma chamber. So there is still lava, okay? It's very much alive. And also there is a constant flow of water in here. There is water coming from a nearby lake. The majority of the water in here is basically seawater, because part of the volcano actually lies in the sea. So there are cracks, the water comes in. Because of all the heat, the salt actually dissolves, so it keeps on replenishing. Now scientists, they are saying that if the volcano has to erupt again, it might not erupt from here again. It could erupt from any point in the crater, maybe in the town of Soufrière and not from here. So this is not a safety valve, okay? You will get more activity whenever it is full moon, because of the gravitational pull of the moon. The attraction is much greater between the earth and the moon when the moon is full, okay? It affects many things. The tides, you know, people, they call them lunatics. Whenever it's raining, there is much more steam and it smells even worse. And finally, the name of the volcano, La Soufrière, which means sulfur in the air. Hence the reason there are no snakes in Soufrière. The smell chases them away. We have snakes on the island, but not around this area.